Hey guys, it's Cal.
Megs, welcome.
Welcome.
Here we are, mature-ish mamas.
We are going to get down and dirty and talk about making babies 101 today. It's going to be good. It's going to be great.
Here's the deal. We're two moms and we popped babies out in our 40s. And it's hard.
It was hard.
It's also the best thing that's ever happened to either one of us.
Yeah, but now we're moms in our 40s.
In our 40s.
With preschoolers.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about that.
Let's talk about it.
Let's bring the community together of women.
All the moms, 40, 20, night. It's not either night.
And also, let's just talk about real shit. Real life, real women shit.
Yeah, real women shit. Let's do that.
Shit's hard. And also it's funny. They don't.
Let me just pull my bush out of my bush.
Cheers!
Cheers! Unfiltered.
Because if you want a show, we're a shit show. We're here for you.
Yeah.
Welcome to Mature-ish Mamas, Life Unfiltered. Okay, now making a baby 101.
Making a baby.
101. Okay. This is what I was thinking we could do.
Okay.
Let's shit sandwich it because between the two of us, we have popped 5 babies out of the bajayjay. That's neat. Huh? Yeah.
I'm like, how? Oh no. But yeah.
But that we did
But
that.
it came right out of my JJ. So
But,
yep.
by the way, we have husbands. We didn't make those babies together. In case somebody's going to watch and they're going to see your hair.
That's true.
And they're going to...
Especially today.
80s moms.
Yep.
Okay, so I was thinking that because like a mine are kind of sandwich with some like light and fun, and then we have some of the heavier shit.
Shit
in the middle.
Smear it on the sandwich. Sean Connery. Her legs are shit sandwich.
This is what you guys are getting today, a shit sandwich about making babies. And
Yep.
But here's the thing, right? There are so many different ways for people to come about building a family.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
usually it probably doesn't look anything like you thought or much different than you thought it would be. Like, what did you think your experience was going to be?
I thought I was going to have sex with Johnny and we were going to get pregnant.
Ta-da!
And then we could, and then if we wanted to do it again, and we could.
Yeah,
as
you could
many
have
times.
sex. You could have sex and then just make a baby.
Just make a baby.
Mm-hmm.
As many times as we wanted to.
Yeah. And that's just how it would go.
Yeah.
Easy
and,
peasy.
and like when I wanted to. Like right when I was like, okay, we're ready, let's do it.
Yeah. Like I'm going to have a baby on my 25th birthday because that's what my mom did.
Exactly.
So I'm going to do the same thing.
Right.
Just put it in there and let it come out.
And we're just going to continue that tradition.
Yeah, it's going to be so great. It's going to be so simple, so easy.
So easy.
And then it doesn't turn out like that. Or you think that it's going to be hard and then it's not like that. Or you think it's going to be early and it's late. Or the whole point, I think, of probably this conversation, if you guys don't want to listen anymore, just kidding, is that like having grace with your journey and faith in your journey because it just is.
Yeah, it just is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like to think we're in charge of things, but
we're not.
Not even a little bit.
I mean, you do have to put the pen in and get something in there in order. You got to do
pen
something.
15.
Yeah.
Pen in. Put the pen in.
You guys picking up what we're throwing down over here?
Uh-huh.
You know?
It's not a writing course.
It's not. It is. In fact, that's not what's happening right now. Okay, so I'll go baby number one.
Baby number one.
First of all, I'm not supposed to get pregnant because as a gymnast for like, I don't know, a million years. When I was 2, I was doing cartwheels. And when I was 16, I was still doing cartwheels. And I didn't have a period any of those times.
Yeah.
Because, that's what gymnasts do.
Right. And that's because of low body fat?
I think low body fat and over-exercise. So even over-exercise syndrome.
Can stop that for anyone who's also not a gymnast.
Well, because in a lot of gymnasts, they do have more body fat, especially now, I feel like, as you get older. But it doesn't matter. You're working out 25 hours a week and your body's like, I ain't got time to make those hormones.
I ain't bleeding.
And you better not be making a baby because you can't be doing flipsy flopsies with a baby up in your belly.
No.
That's not going to happen. So I was just told that I wouldn't be able to get pregnant until I tried some sort of support intervention, and I didn't really know what that meant, but I was like, cool, that's all right. Like, we'll figure that out when we get there. So John, Carol, and I go to Jamaica I don't know.
Is that on your face?
Oh, it is. Is that
Shine out.
Shine on, girl. So we go to Jamaica for our honeymoon, and just it's your honeymoon. You just live like little rabbits. You're just doing your thing.
Yeah, you're like, I love you so much, honey. My husband.
Yeah,
you're my wife.
Oh, we don't even have to say fiance. So
I know.
Oh, that's so precious.
We're gonna love each other this much forever.
Forever.
Every day for the rest of our lives.
And we're just gonna be wanting to practice making babies every day.
Every day.
Every day.
And you're not trying to not make a baby because you don't think
you can't
without intervention it's not going to happen.
You
so
never
it's
have a
just
period,
like,
so you're not going to make a baby.
Cool.
That's just the way it is. Because
I think science.
Yeah, science.
Yeah, that's science.
Because science.
Because
science.
physics.
Yeah.
No. Biology. That's the one.
Because chemistry. We did have chemistry.
Because chemistry.
Trigonometry.
That's what.
Calculus.
So
that's why I didn't think I could get pregnant. And surprise, surprise, I came on back to the Colorado, and I was at a soccer game because my husband thinks soccer is such a great freaking sport. Bless all of our souls. So I'm sitting there like this next to the soccer field, like, I love you, honey. I love watching you play, you 24-year-old man on the soccer field. This is so fun. On a Saturday. And also, I kind of been feeling nauseous and sick. And then I was like, I just got to go get a snack real quick. So I run. I go to the gas station mid-game because I'm going to die if I don't get a snack. It's like that important. So I go, I get my little granola bar, my water, come back. The lady's next to me and she's like, are you doing all right? I'm like, I'm all right. And then we go out to eat after the game because you got to make it at least partially fun so you make it social.
Yeah.
So you finish with cocktails.
Yeah, of course.
If you don't bring them to the game. And then, so we're at the bar and grill something. She's like, let's get some nachos. This is my friend. And I was like, no, I've been having some wicked heartburn lately. Like, I'm gonna skip the nachos.
Ooh,
Yeah. And she's like, okay, I'm gonna do some mom math for you.
Right.
I don't know how much older she was than me, like 10 years. I always like to have friends of all ages.
Span of.
Yes, because there's so many great things they all offer.
Oh, totally.
It's amazing. So she's like, I think you might be pregnant. And I was like, no. Listen here, Tammy. I am not pregnant because I don't have a hormone system like that. And it's not happening. It's like using birth control. No, we don't need to. Don't have to. It's cool if we get pregnant. So we leave and she's in my head. Because it's Halloween. And I'm like, I got to go to a party. And we're young at this point. So we know how to rage on.
Yeah, of course.
We stayed up past 8:30 all of the time. Like probably every weekend.
Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine.
Gross. So we're on the way to this party. I'm like, John, will you just pull over and I'm going to grab a pregnancy test? And he's like, this is dumb, whatever.
He's like, what?
Why? Let's just go and waste the money. I've got to get to the party. I got drinking to do.
Yeah, gosh.
We've been married by this time for like 6 weeks. So we were like,
right.
The honeymoon phase over.
Clock out.
Yeah.
God, I got you now.
I don't have to do shit about shit for you. Get me to this Halloween party. So we go to the house. I go downstairs into this like little teeny tiny bathroom in the master bedroom, and he's upstairs partying with his friends.
Yeah.
I'm not pregnant.
Because you're at a party.
I'm at a party. So I'm down there, I'm peeing on my first stick, and I'm just like, okay, can this hurry up so I can go upstairs, make myself a cocktail, hang out with my friends, put on my costume. Who knows what it was. It was probably great, though.
Oh, I'm sure. I bet it was slutty, too.
I bet it was.
I hope it was.
Because I bet my boobies was already getting big, and I didn't know it, too. So I peed on a stick, and there's those two lines that just show up, and I run upstairs, and I'm like, oh, Carol, like, we don't think we can get pregnant, and we're 23 and just got married, and we made a little Jamaican baby. She's my little Jamaican baby, my one and only baby girl, straight from Jamaica.
I love that.
I know, but nothing like I foresaw occurring, right?
Right, yeah.
And then I moved to baby number 2, and this is where like the doctors were like, we do know what we're talking about slightly, because I did have to get on progesterone and Clomid, and it didn't take years and years, but I wanted the babies to be less than 2 years apart, and you've got a plan, and it's not going according to the plan, and they didn't like make me try for a couple years before trying hormone therapy because they knew my system.
Right.
So I did get to try the drugs right away, and I went batshit crazy.
You did?
Yeah, Clomid. Have you heard of Clomid?
I've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how long How soon after you had kids did you start your hormones?
Well, I breastfed for a year.
Okay.
So it was at least a
After
year
a year.
afterwards. Yeah. And
Because how did you feel after your pregnancy? Were you crazy at all then?
I was-
with those hormones?
not like postpartum hormones, but pregnancy hormones
Yeah.
definitely had a
So
wild
during
ride.
the pregnancy.
Mhm,
Okay.
yeah. Like
Just wondering, because for you to not have maybe those surge of hormones on a monthly basis because you're not having a period, and then
all of a sudden
it's like, here they all are.
that might be why I was batshit crazy, because I mean there were moments, there was one time where, okay, also you're in your early 20s, so like
Yeah.
you're doing stupid shit, but
Yeah,
we're
you
having,
already are batshit crazy, kinda.
yeah. So we're having everybody over. I don't know how pregnant, and our house is full of screaming, loud, drinking
Yeah.
people playing games downstairs. And
Yeah.
I came downstairs like 2:30 a.m. I'd been trying to sleep. I'm like, you guys need to
Shut
get the
the-
out
Yeah.
of my house, get like. And I wasn't super nice about it. But yeah, I did. Have,
I mean, I don't think you need to be at that point. Like, I'm huge pregnant. Shut the fuck. Get the hell out. Like,
I don't feel like listening to you guys party right now. I'm trying to make a baby up here.
I know.
Yeah, it's
I'm making
hard.
a liver tonight. You guys need to leave.
Yeah. Go away. But it was, I mean, there was like this big hormone surge. But on Clomid, the third month that I was doing it, John and I looked at each other. We're like, I think this is the last time we can try this, because we both could recognize how,
Yeah.
I don't even know what the right word was. Like, I don't know if I was mean or upset, but it just wasn't me. It didn't feel good. I felt like I was like an imposter in my own body.
Right,
Didn't love it. And thank God we were so blessed to get pregnant with Jace after that third round. And that's how I made my first 2 babies in the most unexpected of the ways.
I know.
And you just never know. Yeah.
Yeah. And you were how old when they were born?
24 and 26.
Okay. Yeah.
So, little baby.
Little baby.
Little baby having
And then-
babies.
And then, yeah.
Yeah, and then a little gap. But let's shit in it first.
Okay.
Because I know she's like, do I get to, is that Megan gets
Here's
to
my
be the
shit.
shit? Because yeah.
Yeah, because you know what? I thought pretty much I would go to Jamaica and make a baby and be done with it. So my story is fun. So I was 16 when I met Johnny. We came in and out of each other's lives like a few times until I was 26.
Okay.
So 10 years.
Good decade.
Yeah, good decade. You know, to get all the rest of your shit out that you need to between that time, I guess, before you're
Totally.
like, okay, yeah, let's really do this for reals. So 26 and got back together, and after maybe a year of being together, we were just like, you know what, this is what we're going to be. This is what we're going to do. And I was like, dude, I'm 27 years old. My body is basically shutting down now. It's starting.
It's so funny how we think when we're of younger mind, and maybe
Yeah.
I don't know what the stat was then, but I know now it's, what did we say? It's like 40%.
Like 1 in 4
yeah,
ish.
I think more. I think it was like 40 or 45%.
Oh my
between
gosh.
30 and 40
Are having babies
having
now.
babies.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah. a pregnancy.
27, you needed to get on it.
I was like, if it's not now,
Never.
I mean, basically, we're gonna be too old to have a baby. So, anyway, so 27, I was like, do you want to have a baby? And he was like, yeah. And so I said, okay. So I stopped using birth control. I was on birth control at that point.
So this is the best. So like your relationship goes from dating, not date, in and out, then dating, and then it's not like he gets down on one knee. You just get on one handstand and you say, hey, you want to make a baby with me? And he's like, yeah, let's do that first. And you're like, yeah,
Let's
okay.
do that first.
I like that.
Yeah, because we think we're in charge of what's happening. We knew we were going to be together. We were going to get married maybe eventually. I mean, that wasn't super important to us at the moment.
Yeah.
But it was like we knew we were going to be together. So, and we loved each other so much. So we wanted to make a baby. So I stopped. I was on the patch. Remember the patch?
Yeah.
That was the one I was on at that time. So I took my patch off.
And then the next night they had sex and made a baby.
That's what I thought was going to happen. That's
Wait,
what I
am
thought
just
was
waking
going to
up
happen.
from a nightmare and that is what happened?
I know.
No.
It was like you take the patch off and then you put a baby in you.
Yeah.
So
Just trade them out.
yeah,
One-
yeah, yeah. Where do I turn this coupon in? So
I like a baby, please.
Yeah.
Stork man.
So I stopped all birth control, and we were just doing it well.
Usher could come into this conversation. That
honey,
is Usher, right?
it ain't Usher. It's not Usher.
Well, you know what? I like him too.
LL Cool J.
They're the same, I think, but different.
Same but different.
Yeah, going, back to.
Caley.
Is that different?
That's
too?
not LL Cool J either.
I am very well versed in the musics.
Yeah, she is. She's fun. Okay, side note, one of my favorite things of all time is misheard lyrics. Like, I don't know. I think it's because most of the time, when you all get to know me better, you'll find out that my mom and my dad had a threesome with a jukebox, and that's how I was born. That's how I came into the world, because I just have a mind for music. Like, I know words to songs. Like, I can...
You can sing. You are musically talented.
I like music, and yeah, so I think it's because most of the time, not 100%, I know what the lyrics are. So I love when I hear someone else sing what they think that they are, or what Cal does, which is even better, is she just makes her. She doesn't even care. She doesn't even care what the real lyrics are. Mm-mm. She's just gonna make up her own. And most of the time, if she's scatting, it's not even words. She's just scat, scoop, scoop it, bow, bow, bow. It's so true, you guys.
She did a perfect impression. And now you like have Spotify where you just like, scroll up and you can see lyrics. And I'm like, what? I'm sorry, what did LL Cool J say? That's not LL Cool J, Mom. Look at the, like, it's right above. Yeah. Yeah. So she always she doesn't keep me in my place. I keep her in her laughter zone.
I love it. I do love it. So anyways. I don't even remember.
There was a threesome.
Yeah.
And you guys, but that's only because we were singing sex songs. We were talking about you guys making a baby.
That's making a baby. Mm-hmm. Yes. So, anyways.
We digress.
Anyways, so Johnny and I, we did all that. I was 27 at that point, and Johnny did end up getting down on one knee and asking me to marry him. And we got married when I was 30. Here on this property,
right in the backyard, we're looking at right here.
13 years ago. Isn't that amazing? Here.
We had no idea how close of friends we were going to be. I was just like at a wedding, just dancing around.
I know. Oh, that was crazy. And during those like 3 years or whatever, I didn't get pregnant, and we didn't think too much about it. I mean, we thought about. Let me take that back.
I was just going to say
because we didn't talk too much about it. Is what it was. Anyone who has been through a journey like I have gone through, I think that it's a pretty common underlying feeling of you go through this emotional roller coaster every month, because it's like you don't want to hang your hat on it every time. Mm-hmm. But sometimes it'd be a couple days late, and then on those months I'd be like, oh my God, am I pregnant? And then I wouldn't be, and then it's like crushing, soul crush. I don't know. And then the thing is that you don't really understand or talk about it so much, or I don't know, we didn't. And I didn't talk to anyone really about that part of the journey, where it's like you just always have this underlying vibration of wanting it to happen and waiting for it to happen, and then it not happening and it not happening and not happening. And what it came down to for me was 14 years of it not happening. So how many months is that of me going like this? And then as it goes, these years go and years go, it's like you start to really get like, I mean, most times it was like, okay, yeah, bummer, it's not this time. And then some months, I mean, I'm bawling, crying.
We've never talked about this in length, but I had no idea. 14 years. I had not done the math yet.
Yeah, I hadn't either.
Wow.
And I just did it before this episode because I was like, how many years was it? Because like math is not my strong suit.
Music, not math.
Yeah. Johnny, he's like 472 times 30 in a minute is a bit in a minute. And I'm like, you're so hot.
Yeah.
Your brain is so amazing. And
keep math into me, and we'll go ahead and try to make a baby again.
Yeah, and I'll sing you a song about it. So yeah, 14 years. I did the math. 14 years it took until I had a baby, or until I got pregnant. I can't remember what I did. But so, anyways, that goes through 3 years. We get married. And
that's like 160, not exact math, but like months of disappointment.
Yeah. And there, like I'm saying, there were months where it was like sucked. It sucks every time.
Yeah.
It sucks every time you have your period, or even there was months where I would be a couple days late, so I'd get a pregnancy test because you just are so excited.
Yeah.
And then it's not. And then it's like, okay, well, maybe the test is wrong. I'll wait a couple more days, and then I'd get my period. So, and then it's like, on top of having that emotional attachment to waiting for that to happen, you're also on your period. So
Yeah.
my emotions are already like screwy. Like I was like, there was some really hard times during those 14 years.
Yeah. How was it on your marriage?
So in the beginning, it wasn't hard because we were excited to be married. We were married for a while, a couple years, and then we still weren't pregnant. So it was kind of like, well, let's just start asking some questions or getting maybe some checks checked out. You know what I mean? So I spoke with my gynecologist at the time, and I was like, this is what's going on. And I was like, and then I'm also having pain in my right side, like a few weeks before my period, like almost consistently every month. And so she's like, you're young, you're healthy. That pain in your right ovary every month is you're producing another egg. So you're probably dropping 2 eggs at a time. So you should be having 50 babies every month.
That is so supportive. Thank you.
I know. After 5 years of this already, maybe. Yeah. And it's like, oh, so I should be having babies.
So we're really just
So it's not my fault. This is John's fault.
Let's point a finger. Like when you have any of you guys, we always like to have comments on here. We like to be able to get to know you through the comments, but we would love to know your stories. And also that just like makes me think there's probably a lot of people that are trying to point the finger and not even like wanting to try to, but just wanting to find an answer, which leads to pointing the finger, which doesn't feel good for anyone.
Exactly. And it didn't. That didn't feel good. Because after that, it was kind of like a blame. Like, it's like the conversation can't, I don't really remember, but it was something like, well, my doctor said I'm good. So we need to get you checked out, or there's things you need to be doing that you're not doing. So,
ouch.
I know. And it wasn't great. And I do remember during that time, it didn't feel great. It felt, I didn't want John to feel like it was his fault.
Right.
And I could tell that he did a little bit. I mean, how could you not?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or like he was, maybe even if that's not the right word for him, maybe just the pressure of that part of it.
Right.
So we decided that he was going to go to a urologist and get a little jizzy jammy jack. He's just gonna, for that shit sandwich, just get some jizz jam on there.
Just grab a penthouse and just jizz jam it out.
Yep.
Jam it, jizz it out.
Yep. So
these are technical terms in case you guys want to be writing this down.
Medical.
For your future, for your future appointments.
So when you go,
you're
can we
welcome.
get a jizz jam today, please? We
yeah.
need a jizz jammy on the jam.
Yep. Good for the shit Sammy.
Yep. So, So we were about to go on this epic road trip because that was like one thing that we would like. We were traveling a bunch and it was awesome. So Johnny and I were about to go on this epic road trip for this vacation, and it was like, let's just go to this doctor real quick, get you checked out, and then we'll head out and it'll be awesome.
Pop in the car, grab our beef jerky and a book tape. Let's go.
Yeah, right. Stop off at a 7-Eleven, get some roadie snacks, Slurpee, and
head out.
Yeah. So he went to the doctor. He got tested. Yep. And the doc was like, hey, I see them. There they are. They're swimming around. We got to see them.
Oh.
And I know. He was like, they were like moving everywhere. There was a couple that were kind of going in a circle. And he's like, those aren't great ones. Those ones won't go. But
those ones are dizzy.
Yeah, those ones are the ones that we don't want to make it to the egg anyway.
Yeah, so you're fine.
Yeah, so you guys are doing fine. So you guys just keep on trying.
Yeah.
Keep on trying.
Well, that was nice instead of just saying, hey, you should be doing better.
Yeah.
Thank you, urologist.
So it was...
Way to be more sensitive.
I know. It was funny. And gosh, of course, dudes, they're like high-fiving about something.
Way to go, your sperm count's great, bro.
Right.
Up top. Dab it up.
Yeah, dab it up. Did you wash your hands?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
No, go hit that.
Yeah. So, but it was awesome because it was like right before this trip. And so it like gave new hope to what was happening. You know what I mean? Where we felt like we had some answers. And so for the next 8 years, we just kept trying.
Kept dabbing it up.
Just dabbing it up. Just
tapping that.
Just jizzy jamming it. Until, so 38 now. I think I'm about 38. And now I really am like, dude, I am getting old. Like,
I've been geriatric for 3 years.
For 3
now.
years. Yeah, I'm considered a Jerry at this point. So John and I did sit down and have a real conversation about it. And it was like, is this something that we do really want to do? And the answer was yes. So now it's like, we do have to do these things. So what are the steps that we go to? And now it was like, we go to a specialist. We go to a real fertility specialist. Conceptions, they were awesome. So we get there, we talk to the doctor, and he was like, this is the way that we do this here. And we always start with the woman, because you're the one who has to get pregnant.
Yeah.
And there's so many more factors for you, for the reason you're not getting pregnant, than it would be for like if it was with Johnny.
Right.
And plus, we had already had John tested in basically the one way he can get me pregnant.
And
right?
your person basically just looked at your uterus and was like, you're fine.
Yeah.
Like from the outside, they're just like, you're good.
Yeah, she did look on the inside too.
Look at that, a girl.
I mean, because that's what you do when you go to those appointments. But she got the little duck bill out.
Yeah, just went on up in there.
Got in there. She was like, "Oh yeah, looks clean. No, I think you're gonna be fine.
You're good. Just everything's good. Binoculars on."
Yeah. So went to conceptions. Started out, they like test your follicles, and they see how many follicles you have at a certain time in your cycle. I had 12, which is kind of a lot.
Okay.
I guess. And especially in my age bracket.
Being so old.
It's so old.
So old.
Ugh. He was like, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Check.
Yeah.
Done. So next step is we do a iodine test. They put basically like an x-ray machine over your uterus area, and they take iodine in syringes and they shoot it up into your fallopian tube.
Oh, wow.
So they can see if there's any blockages.
Okay.
So they put it up into your uterus, like pump it, like they're doing all the things to get the iodine to come through.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, even after having a baby, that was the most pain I've ever had in my entire life.
Oh, no.
I had no idea it was gonna hurt so bad.
Because they were shooting stuff the wrong direction, or like
no. I don't know if it's like that for everyone, or if it was so painful because mine were blocked that it couldn't shoot through.
Oh, jeez.
I have a pretty high pain tolerance. Like I have a pretty high pain tolerance. I legit sat up, and they were like, "You need to lay back down." Like I was gonna pass out from pain. Right?
Yeah.
I'm like, you could have gave me like a freaking Valium or something.
Or just
like,
an ibuprofen?
an ibuprofen.
Told me to take ibuprofen.
Seriously. So, nope, both of my fallopian tubes are blocked.
John's little swimmers, they're trying so hard,
Banging their head.
just like
That's why
just
some
like
were
a Friday
going in
night.
a circle.
Just like,
because they were like,
I'm so dizzy, Mom.
dizzy.
I keep trying to get through this, but it's like Fort Knox up in here. She will not let me get in there.
yeah. So,
Oh, wow.
So I only had to do those 2 tests, and they were like, this is the problem.
Yeah.
This is the problem.
Let's rotor-rooter it out.
He said, listen, he even said, I hate to be crass, and I'm sorry to say it this way, but both of them are blocked. Your right side is like a stretched out tube sock. He's like, it's just flopping around. Like, it's like, there's no way it can catch anything.
And it's got double the eggs, don't you remember from that first appointment? So they're all just sitting up there making scrambled omelets all over the place.
All over the place. Yeah, so we found out that's not where the pain was coming from. It's because I had severe endometriosis.
Yeah.
Which is very painful.
Yeah.
And
just 14
that
years,
right
you're fine.
side, it's just 14 years of it letting it grow.
Yeah.
So that one, he was like, that is out of the
Let's
picture.
not use that one.
Let's not even use that one. And
Tube
then,
sock,
yeah, the other side is also completely blocked, but it's whatever. Here are your options. We can do IVF. That's very popular nowadays. Like,
Yeah.
The other option was that there was a surgery that I could have that they would go in, remove my right fallopian tube, take that out of
Get
there.
rid of
That
that tube
floppy
set.
sock needs to just go.
Go.
And then the other side, they could try and rotor-root it, get it blocked out.
Okay.
Neato, gang. So I said, okay, well, obviously your first instinct is like, oh, well, IVF, let's do that because it feels almost foolproof, right?
Right.
Foolproof. But Johnny's like, well, let's get some more information.
Well, and like I already, when you started this conversation, my brain is thinking, like financially, that's gonna like suck some money out of your bank account, right?
IVF is not covered medically. It just isn't
Yeah.
at this point, which is so insane.
Mm-hmm.
So then it was time to get the information, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they take you in a room. They have this whole folder. Here are the things that you will need, which is including all of the hormones.
Okay.
So you'll need medication, the
This is for
retrieval.
the
For
IVF.
IVF.
Okay.
There's a retrieval fee. There's a storage fee. There's, all these things.
Just put it in a storage locker. You don't have to.
Yeah.
Charge
Let me
me.
just, there's a storage unit right by our house. Can
Yeah.
I'll just put a refrigerator in there.
Yeah, I got a mini fridge you can use.
So it ended up being, I think it was going to be close to 40 grand.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Let me just get out my billfold.
Yeah, right. You take a post-dated check. So 40-ish grand, right? I mean, I was thinking maybe 25.
Yeah.
And maybe that is the case for some people, but the way that we needed it, it was going to be that much
Yeah.
money.
Oh, jeez.
I think because also my age was a factor of that, because they were going to test the egg. They were going to test the embryo, make sure that it was healthy to put it, you know what I mean?
Right.
So that's where it came to. So we take that information home and we just kind of sit
Sell
with
a
it.
kidney.
Yeah, right. Get on the black market.
Yeah.
So we sit with it, and it's like heavy. That's a heavy thing to sit with, because we, in our budget, that's not doable for us, just easy. Like, and not only that, but that's one round.
Right.
Sometimes it doesn't take just one round of IVF.
Talk about the freaking pressure.
Yeah.
Of,
Right. So, but still it was like, we're going to do it. We're going to figure out a way. We'll figure this out.
Mm-hmm.
So I started, researching options for, like sponsorship or, donation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'd written out these essays and all these things, and I was like getting ready to send them to these places that these people will help you pay for this for you. So just know that if you're going through this, there are people out there. There are other options. People who want to help you have a family.
Yeah.
So I had written this thing out and getting ready to send it, and then COVID comes.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing, right?
Yeah.
So then the whole world is like, we're not doing anything anymore.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. Please hold. And then the elevator music comes on.
For 4 years.
Yeah.
TikTok. TikTok. Oh yeah. By the way, your TikTok clock is ticking.
Yeah. Because now I'm 39.
Yeah.
Now I'm 39. We don't know the state of any of our financial anything from here on out. Johnny and I had another conversation, and we had to sit down and be like, okay, is this really, let's talk about this.
Yeah.
IVF doesn't feel right anymore. It just doesn't feel like it's the right thing to do. But there was this other option. There was this surgery option that we had. And we both looked at each other and we were like, I feel like if we do this surgery, that will be enough for us. That will be enough for us down the road, that if this doesn't happen, we won't look back and regret for anything.
Right. We did this. We tried.
We tried.
Yep.
We did the road we wanted to do, and great. Let's move on. And we were also happy because we have a very big family. We have lots of kids in our family, and we were aunt and uncle, and we loved that position.
Yeah.
And my friends had kids, and it was great. That was awesome.
Also, but all of that's probably really hard. I mean, it is awesome, but also like when you see everybody else with these flourishing families, you're just like,
yeah. There were times in my life where people would get pregnant, and it would stick me in the heart.
Yeah.
But then it's also like, you got to pull it out because you are so happy for them, and I didn't want to ever diminish anyone else's joy or want them to share their joy with me because of what I was going through.
Yeah.
I don't want you to feel bad to say that you're pregnant. Like, gosh, no, I'm so stoked for you. I'm so happy for you. Like, and what was so cool was that I had friends who I loved so much and loved me so much that I was there when their kids were born.
Yeah.
I got to cut
Part of their
one of their umbilical cords. Like I was a part of
Yeah.
that, the birthing of children without it having to be me.
Right.
And that was also, I mean, that's something most people don't ever get to do.
Yeah.
So, there were things that I was checking off on my list saying that I'll be okay. I will be okay.
Mm-hmm.
I will be happy. I'll be more than okay. I'll be happy.
Yeah.
But I want to try this. And so we found out, I went to another amazing doctor down south. Can't remember her name right now, but I will. I'll find out.
Shout out.
Yep. Because she was awesome. She knew exactly what she wanted to do. She made me feel so comfortable. She looked at me and said, you have endometriosis. This is a medical procedure, has nothing to do with fertility. We're going to charge it out as a medical procedure and your insurance is going to cover it.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Thank you,
Yeah.
God. Like,
Yeah.
we can do that. It was the most non-invasive, easiest thing. Like they put me down. They did I have 2 little incisions.
Yeah.
Like tiny scars, like not anything. And I was in outpatient surgery. I came home, laid on the couch for 2 days.
Yeah.
And I was back at it, feeling great. Like it was awesome.
Back at it.
Right.
Well. Pump the brakes.
Pump the brakes just a lot. But I was feeling really good.
Yeah.
And so basically she was able to clean out the left side enough to make a pathway and said, because endometriosis is not curable or whatever,
Yeah.
so it's continuous.
It's going to keep scarring up.
So she was like, you have anywhere between 3 and 6 months to get pregnant before, that's like your window before you probably won't be able to again. 3 months went, 6 months went, no pregnancy. But so what was really awesome about that point was I wasn't sad. I really wasn't. I kind of like had this whole new outlook on even just sex. Mm-hmm. Because before that, it was always to get pregnant. I mean, it was still great,
Right.
still fun, but there was like
Underlying pressure.
an underlying pressure of like, we have to do it to get pregnant, right? Mm-hmm. Or I'm hoping that I'll get pregnant every time. And then after 6 months, it was like, oh, now this can just be fun.
Yeah. We did what we said we were going to do.
We did what we said we were going to do. And I'm okay. Like I peace did come over me. Like, good job. We did.
Yeah.
Good job, Johnny. Thank you for doing this with me. And that was awesome. And we were just like, look at how much money we're going to have. Look how all the traveling we can do. Like,
started finding all of your positive perspective
we're
around
gonna
the
take
situation.
we're gonna take the nephews on a camping trip and like, you know, doing all this stuff. And then just enjoyed COVID like everyone, you know, drank from 10 a.m. until, you know,
Whatever
4 p.m. until you want to go to bed or whatever.
Yeah. COVID life. Y'all remember that? Didn't have to drive anywhere.
Yeah. And then, so we did that and it was good and it felt good and I felt good.
Nice.
And Johnny felt good. It was
Yeah.
like a huge pressure did come off of us.
Yeah.
And even though we weren't constantly in that mode in our minds and in our marriage, we have had, you know, like every marriage, really great times, really mediocre normal times and some bad times, but there was always just a little bit of that always.
Yeah.
So now it's gone. Great, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We just go on with our lives and go on with what was happening, and COVID was finally going out.
Yeah.
And we finally got to go to a party.
Ooh, we left the house.
Memorial Day weekend.
Okay.
No, let me wait. Let me back it up. Back it
it
up.
Back it up. Hutning, back.
That's how I got pregnant.
Back.
We went to my sister-in-law's birthday party.
Okay.
Went to her birthday party, had a great time. We had so much fun.
Yes.
You know
All
what
the
I
fun.
mean?
Yeah, all
had
the fun.
so much fun. And then rolls around Memorial Day weekend, just partying it up, man.
Fun.
I think all weekend.
Yes.
I think I was there was a point at this party that I had just drank enough that I was like, I'm gonna go ride on the scooter. And I fell.
That sounds right.
So that was my Memorial Day weekend, right?
Yeah. Bangering.
This one Wednesday I was working really hard at
Yeah, you
home.
were. Yeah.
And I got this wild hair up my ass that I was like, I'm going to clean the shit out of my bathroom today.
Yes. Thank you
On
for
the
paying my
clock.
salary. Yeah.
Yeah. So I like have this big vanity in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And, you know, I just start collecting things, little things, and they just
Yeah.
all go in the vanity. You know, I try things out and then I just put
Put
in
them
there.
away, yeah.
So I have this whole vanity full of crap. So I'm taking it all out, all of it. And going through things, throwing it away. Sometimes I like save things. Like I have little things and I have sisters. So I'm always like, here's my bag of shit I don't want.
You want it?
You want
You're
it?
welcome.
No.
You're welcome.
I only tried it 3 times. So,
Yeah.
So I'm getting all my stuff together and doing all these things and whatever. And I come across one pregnancy test. One left from all of those. Like I had a shit ton. Whatever.
Yeah.
So I had one left. And I literally was like, okay, I feel wasteful. But what doesn't feel wasteful is if I pee on it first.
Yep.
Yeah, just on it. And then
Did you pee on your other makeup you threw out? Or just the pregnancy test?
Yeah, I just put everything on the floor and I just peed on it. I'm like, this is mine. No one else can have it.
Pee out, throw it away, you guys.
So anyways, so I pee on this thing. My period isn't late. It's coming up. I have no expectation of being pregnant, but you know, you pee on it and you wait and just look.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'm
Yeah.
not pregnant. I haven't been pregnant. So here, let's find out. So I pee on it and almost immediately there's 2 freaking lines.
You're like, are you freaking 14 years later?
I was like, okay, you know, like, is this real life right now? Like, is this really happening? Maybe it's old. It's been sitting in here for months.
That probably makes a false positive.
Yeah.
Certainly old tests do that.
Yeah, because that's what it would do. So I go to the store and I buy 4 more tests and I pee on 3 of them and they're all freaking positive.
Not 1 more test, 4 more tests. She's like, you
4.
know what's going to seem right? 4.
4.
4 seems right.
4 seems right. I peed on all of them. And granted, this is midday. You know how like
On a
there's all these
Wednesday?
things and they're like, oh, do it in the morning when your hormone is.
Yeah, high.
Nope. I'm popping hot tests every time.
Oh my gosh.
And then I saved 1 just in case John needed to see it live.
Yeah, which I'm sure he did.
So then I'm like, oh my God, I'm fucking pregnant. I'm pregnant, right? Oh my gosh. Yep. So that was it. So then I was pregnant and it was awesome. And the journey that I went on and the journey that John and I went on together was the journey that we needed to go on together to get to this point, to have this family, to be where we are today.
Yeah.
So that's my pregnancy 101. But then guess what? Doesn't stop there because Cal had 2 more babies.
It didn't stop. And I just want to comment about the timing of things is that we are, again, like to circle back to the fact that we want to be in charge. And it's so hard when you're in the unknowing. And then when you're on the other side, you're like, wow, this makes so much sense why it happened.
Yeah.
And if we can just tie ourselves back to that, like different times where that's occurred in our lives. And then when you're going through something rough, be like, this doesn't make sense right now. But you know what? Down the road, whether it's 3 years or 14 years, it's gonna make sense of why this is all occurring for me.
Yeah.
For me, for my family, even though right now it feels like it's against me and my family.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, that's the truth. That's very true. It is always for you.
Even when it sucks.
Yep, even when it sucks. It is always the universe is not against us.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
It's
even when
conspiring to support us.
absolutely in every way,
Yeah.
every shape, and it does. And like I just said, that was what it was for us, what we needed. In the moments, no, didn't feel that way, but it still doesn't take away that is exactly what we needed to get to where we are today.
Right. And a lot of times we need things that we don't want.
Yeah.
And then that's when we just get them. So that's how it works.
Because without those moments, there's no growth, and that is our ultimate. I think that is our ultimate goal as human life, as your
Our
life
human form is growth.
is to grow, to continue to grow, to keep growing, and without hardships, without bad things, there is no opportunity for that. Because if everything's great all the stinking time, why would you need to?
Yeah.
You know, you don't need to.
Right.
So
Yeah. So we stepped back into some growth moments ourselves. So we had a 12-year-old and a 14-year-old, and we're just doing life. And I had like the 32-year-old itch. That's a lie. I have an itch every single time I see a baby.
No, me too.
Every time I see a baby, I'm just like, oh, one more baby. But I did like ask John. I'm like, what do you think? What should we have more babies? And it's like our kids are like 8 and 10. No, like, are you batshit crazy? And I was like, okay, you're probably right. And then we went through some different things in our marriage and like really had some growing moments in our marriage and our relationships, in our lives and our careers. And things were, they were hard, and then they just came together. And using the same birth control method we had been using for the last 14 years.
That real scientific,
Yeah.
foolproof, 99.9% sure.
99.9% sure I'm going to pull it out. It's going to be fine. We should be fine. And again, I had to get on drugs to get pregnant with my other one, and we're like, this is working for us.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine.
Right.
So we just are going to
If
keep
it ain't
on.
broke.
Yeah, don't try to fix that, okay? So we're like back to our second honeymoon stage. Like, we're so in love.
Love
like,
that.
just kind of coming back together, and boy, did we come back together, because all of a sudden my boobies were getting real big. And I don't know.
Oh, so then he's like, really, let's come
Hey,
together.
girl. Yeah. I'm like, I've always been kind of the president of the itty bitty titty committee. Like, that's just what it's fine. I'm here for it.
Boobs are great, no matter what they look like, shape, size, density.
They're just delightful.
Nip.
Delightful.
They're fantastic.
They're fantastic.
Everybody likes boobs.
Everybody likes a boob.
Yeah.
So mine were getting a little well endowed, and I took a pregnancy test because I was like, that's just kind of weird. Like, but it's negative, you know.
Okay, yeah.
I had just had a surgery. They did a pregnancy test for that. It was negative. I went to the guy, and I'm like, hey, I don't know, big boobs. Like, this is weird. I'm almost 40 years old. She takes a pregnancy test. Nope, not pregnant. Go to a mammogram. They're squishing the shit out of my boobs. Like, wow, you got really dense titties. That's what she said. Just kidding. That's not what she said. But like, there's like dense tissue, but you're fine. Everything's good. I'm like, okay, so I just have big boobs all of a sudden. I'm not gaining weight, just in my boobs.
Heck yeah. I mean,
What? Okay.
it's like a
party trick.
yeah, right?
So, yeah, watch them grow. So I'm like, I guess it just is what it is. And then one morning, it's kind of similar thing. I had a lot of pregnancy tests that were around from when we were doing Clomid days. So I just had like a little stash of them. And I woke up one morning really early for the fresh pee. And I was just like, you know what? It's been a while with these boobies now. I'm going to pee on one more stick. And sure as shit, just like you, down in the bathroom all by myself again, I see these 2 lines appear as rapid as they could be. And I'm like, how did every other pregnancy test? It was negative. And then here we are. We're making a baby.
Here's a decade-old test in the back of my closet.
This test is as old as my children, which are old because I have a 12-year-old and 14-year-old. Like, what?
Gosh.
So I run upstairs with my pee stick in hand, waving it around, splashing it about.
Pee confetti.
Yeah. John's sleeping. I'm like, John, look at this. I'm like jumping on the bed, and I show him my pee stick, and he's just like, holy shit, like, serious, like, what? But he's excited too. I think somewhere, probably like your Johnny, he was like doing the math. He's just like, oh my God, I'm going to be 60 when this baby leaves my plate. Like, what's happening? And we yelled to the littles because they had been asking Daddy for a baby brother or sister. Pardon me. Excuse me, I'm going to move that down. They'd been asking for a baby brother or sister for a while. So I'm like, I yell for them to come in the room. We all have this like family moment with my 2 teenagers and my hubby.
Jumping on the bed with your pee stick.
My pee stick. And we're like, what? And
love it.
It was such a beautiful and interesting gift. And the reactions that we got from some people where they're like, dude, what literally the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, this is...
Did you lose your mind?
Did you mean to do that?
Yeah.
Because I was almost 39.
I bet that was a big one. Did you mean to do that?
Did you mean
was
to do
that
that?
on purpose?
Do you know how to prevent that? I'm like, yeah, I did. Well, apparently not. People were just like pretty much in awe. And they're like, aren't you like sort of... They thought that I'd be some sort of upset or still feel some sort of way. But I was like, to me, this is in God's plan, and we're not meant to empty nest. Like, we're meant to have more babies, and it is what it is. And the second we knew we were pregnant with Quincy, just like you, I announced it to the world because I figure I'm going to take them on the journey. If this isn't meant to be my journey, I'm going to share from whatever experience I have. But I knew that I wanted our baby to have a little one if possible so that they could have playmates, and made an entire plan of action with the doctor intentionally to make sure that like by 6 months I stopped breastfeeding because I'm in control, right? And I'm going to save 6 months of breast milk during my other 6 months. So I'm like a freaking moo cow the whole time after I have him.
Feeding and pumping.
Yep. So I saved 6 months while breastfeeding for 6 months. And then so I could stop, get my body back to normal, whatever it is, try to get pregnant. And same thing as you, ovulation tests, doing all the things. Now we're actually like focused on it, and knew that I did start progesterone, but not Clomid. I knew how bad that was for my system before. So we're like, let's do progesterone for so long, see if that can kickstart me and get me into a good space. And John Carroll, this is after COVID. We had not been on any trips yet. He had a trip to Texas, and I had a trip to Texas, different parts, but I was doing an event, and that was right during our ovulation window. And I was like, hey, honey, like we only have so much of this progesterone, like what we're doing here, progesterone. So if you want to make a baby, what you're going to do is you're going to pick me up from this black tie affair at a mansion that I'm at. I'm in the middle of the party. And
in Texas, not even the state you live in.
Nope, we're in Dallas. And I'm like, hey, I'm going to skip out. I tell like my roommates, I'm going to skip out real quick. John Carroll's going to swing by in his rented minivan or whatever he has, because he's like, a soccer guy. So he pulls up in front of the mansion in this ridiculous car. I jump in. We go to the hotel. He's got to get back. We have things to do.
I thought you guys did it in the van.
That would have been.
I was like,
I'm out
in front of the mansion.
The mansion. I walk back in,
throws her dress over her head,
shimmy my dress back down, and just zip in. Oh my gosh! No, we were not that crass. We went to the hotel room and ripped it out real quick.
Good job.
Just took care of that. And then my roommate's just like, so you and John just worked on making a baby before I got back here. You're welcome, Amanda. Thank you for being there for me. A good 3 minutes later, we went on our way to do our things, and that was our window.
Yeah.
Not really thinking like, is this Texas story going to be viable?
This is the time.
Yeah, right. Like that's just not the way that it's going to work. Sure enough, I knew I was pregnant with that one because now I understood my body again and my hormones. So we made a little Dallas baby. We had Jamaican baby all the way to the Dallas baby. We had 2 babies where we had to do drugs, 2 babies that were just like complete surprises and blessings in our lives. So I feel like I got a little bit of all of the different things.
Yeah.
Never to the level. I mean, it was hard enough for me waiting 9 months. That was like, and every single freaking time, just like you said. But that's our making the 5 babies story.
And
how
Jamaican babies.
Jamaican all the babies. Jamaican the Dallas baby. Jamaican the
Jamaican baby.
The Roto-Rooter baby. Caston's a Roto-Rooter baby.
Yep.
It kind of is.
He is.
Aww. But so I think today just getting to share with you guys and take you on our journey a little bit, knowing that every woman has a story.
Yeah.
A really cool, interesting, unique story, because we're all individuals, and like hoping and supporting people to embrace that story and embrace their journey, even though it's not what you probably wanted it to look like, but it's yours. It's yours just the way that it gets to look. And if yours ended with you being an auntie, or yours ended with 10 little in vitro babies, or
maybe you got to go out and choose your baby.
Yeah.
And you adopted some baby who needed
you to be
a family more than making one, And
like
that's an amazing story.
For sure.
But I also just want to, just looking back on what I went through for 14 years, I just really want to encourage you guys to share those times too, because I maybe didn't want to like bum people out or put my shit on other people. But I really, looking back, wish that I maybe would have talked about it a little bit more.
Yeah.
And got some more support in some ways. Because then I wouldn't have felt so devastated sometimes, you know what I mean? Or maybe I would have found someone who was going through it too, because there's so many.
Yeah.
And I think it's just important, and maybe not even while you're going through it, share your story now.
Yeah.
Let's all talk about it. Like that's even though it does seem so mundane to just like, oh, you get pregnant and you have a kid because people are doing it all the time.
Yeah.
But every single woman's story is different. Even if it's similar.
Yeah.
Even if you do have a fertility story, maybe you had to do 5 other tests that I didn't even have to even go through, you know? Or, I mean, I've met a lot of people who have done multiple rounds of IVF and still are struggling with that. So just share. It's awesome and it's needed and it's incredible. And it's really, truly the one miracle we all get to witness.
Yeah.
Like it's a miracle that happens so often that we're like,
yeah. Oh, would you just like reproduce and
you just
build
made
a
a
little
human?
being? Yeah, that's not.
and then shit them out your vagina.
Everybody does it. It's just easy peasy. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you want, a prize? You want an award? No, I think that like it's like normalizing that it's not normal. Like because none of our stories are two and the same. So like normalizing when you're discussing it, when you're sharing about it, then you get to be seen and heard. You get to see and hear other people. And also you get to realize that like we all go through something unexpected, twists and turns, whether it's during the pregnancy, the delivery, taking care of our kids, our marriage, our careers. There's all these twists and turns, these plot twists, which we get to figure out how to embrace. And with community and with sharing, it's so much easier.
It really is.
Yeah.
And I think that building a community around you, because I think that there's sometimes this like a stigma of when you are going through something hard that maybe you're bitching or complaining,
Right.
or talking shit about your spouse or something like that. And it doesn't have to come from that space.
Right.
And sometimes maybe it does come from that space, so it does feel that way. But really, when you have a community of women around you to support you in those sectors of your life, it's not about bitching, moaning, complaining. It's about being heard, getting it out of your body.
Yeah.
Letting it process through, getting advice if you need advice, or just having someone listen to you, because then you don't have to be all in your head about it.
Yeah.
And those things you can move through instead of just sitting stagnant, you know?
Yeah.
So if you need a community, start making one, start building one, start here. Say hi, say what's up, say this is my story, this is what I need, or
This
is
is
somebody
where I'm
want to
from.
go here and get a margarita with me? You know,
I need a margarita, mama chat.
yeah. So
Yep, and that's key. Don't forget, you guys, in our comments, we are really encouraging you guys to let that take a life of its own so that you can start to build those associations and relationships. And we're going to have some different guests on the show throughout the duration of all that we do, and we're going to hear from other heroes, mom heroes.
Yep.
And by hero we mean just someone who's just doing it, you know. And it's going to be neat to share. And until then, start sharing your story, like Meg said.
yeah,
Thank you for sharing your story today. I never heard that whole thing. Jeez.
I know.
Wow.
Same.
Yeah.
You too. I love it. I love it.
We did it. High
I love
five.
you.
Dab it up. Wash the hands. Spit sisters. Oh my gosh, guys, we love you so much.
Yep. And just know that we'll be here for you every week too.
Yeah.
You know what? We'll be part of your community. You just chime in, turn us on. We're here.
Turn us on. Making
Listen
a
to
baby
this.
101. Hey.
Bow, chicka, wow, wow.
Oh man.
All right. We love your guts.
Love your guts, you guys.
love your guts.
Love your guts.
Bye.
Bye
See you
for
next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday. Bye for now. Okay.
Thanks for joining, and don't forget to subscribe and, of course, share with your friends. Guys, that's how we impact more lives. All right, see you next time.
Let's get her going. Come on, Cheryl. She's showing up today.
Oh.
Yeah.
You are crushing it.